Hey folks. Now, the reason for this Colgate smile is it's PC build day and we're gonna have lots of fun. You know the usual stuff, make sure you subscribe, give it a thumbs up if you like it, but yeah, you know what, let's just get straight into it. So, motherboard, let's grab that. Right, so the first component is this motherboard here, right? Which is the 570. We also have 64 gig of RAM from Corsair, it's the Vengeance LPX edition, and then we also have an NVMe SSD card, also from Corsair. So let's start to unbox this stuff and get into it. Very nice package. And here we have all the protective coating around this motherboard, which is very good. And what I'm going to do is just go through this box and just make sure there's nothing extra inside here that we require. And there are loads of bits, so let's pull them all out because we're probably going to need them. All right, and we have a manual here as well. We'll grab all this stuff and we'll pop that over there. Pop this back and get rid of the box. Right, so just so you can see, okay, so let's take this motherboard out of the case. Here we go. And what we might do is I might actually work on this. All right, so here we have the slots for the RAM, so that's probably the easiest win. So I'm going to start off with the RAM, right? We're going to build confidence, you know? We're going to build confidence. Okay, so here we have the two RAM sticks. We'll just take the first one and we will slot it in. Let's just pull these out. I remember this from my days of working in a data center, working with servers. Oh, so that side's fixed. All right, so we'll just slot that in, push it down, and that just clicks into place. So that's 32 gig of RAM in. And this is the second one. So again, we'll just slot this in, apply a little bit of pressure, boom. That's the first job done. So we have the RAM sticks in. The next thing we want to do is we want to seat the CPU. So we'll just lift this lever up, right? And I have to admit, this is the first time I've ever done this, so I'm feeling a bit nervous, but you know, my Twitter family is with me, my YouTube family is with me. Okay. Right. Here we go. So this is the Ryzen 3900X. And got to be super careful here. So what we want to do, there's like a little triangle there. So I've been watching YouTube videos about this, and we just want to line it up with that little triangle there. Right, so I hope I'm doing this right. Slot this down. Is that right? I don't think this is right. And then we do that. And I'll be damned. The CPU is seated. It's not coming back up again. So that's the second job. I'm really amazed. I'm loving this, you know. YouTube is beautiful. You can learn anything. So this is the first time I'm building a PC, and look at this, you know. The two hardest parts, well, I say the hardest part is probably the CPU bit, and you know, I'm so glad to see that that is actually seated. So the next thing we need is to install this NVMe SSD card, right? So let's have a look at the SSD card. I feel like maybe I spoke too soon, you know, the build is going really well. And now I need to figure out where this SSD card goes. I just want to turn it around actually and just make sure there isn't a slot on the other side. And yes, there is a slot on the other side. So we can just see it just here. That's the slot for the SSD card. However, I'm gonna try and not seat it there. I wanna see if they got a slot on the inside, which I'm really hoping they do. So let's just look around for it. And I legit can't see one. So we might have to mount it on the other side. That's okay. So here we go. So this is the SSD card. And actually, before I even go down this route, let's just have a quick look through the instruction manual and see. Or better still, what is this? Motherboard layout. This looks good. This looks very good. So, I am not too ashamed to read the manual. I'll admit I don't know what I'm doing here. I am figuring this out as I go along. But hopefully if anyone else out there decides to build a PC, they can watch this and learn from it the same way I am learning right now. Okay, so it looks like, so we have okay, we just turn it that way and we look. So it actually should be an M2 slot on the top of this. So maybe it's underneath here. Where is that M2 slot? We look to the other side. Yep, so it has to be on this side here by the looks of it, because that layout makes sense. So that's okay. We will install this. Oh, wrong side. Okie dokie. So if we just slot that in here, just push that in. We try again. That looks better. That looks a lot better. And then what we do with this screw, just grab this screwdriver. And screw that in, and that should hold this in place. Okay, don't want to tighten it too much, just enough to hold it in place. So that looks good. I'm happy with that. So I believe we are actually done with the motherboard. So let's just have a quick recap on that. So we installed this CPU chip. We've installed the 64 gig of RAM, so that's two 32 gig RAM sticks. And the final component of this motherboard was the NVMe SSD card, which is 480 gigabytes, I believe, right? So this is what we'll install the operating system on. And we've got some other SSD drives which we'll install onto the case, which we'll use as data drives. So that's it for the motherboard. And that wraps up part 1 of my PC build journey. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've liked it. If you do, please consider giving it a thumbs up. I'll also leave links in the description below for all the components discussed in this video. As an Amazon affiliate, a small percentage of any purchases made via these links will be forwarded to myself. Please join me for part 2 of the PC build, and make sure you hit that subscribe button to be notified for when part 2 goes live. And until then, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.